Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is the week we lead up to Louisville Regional with Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks being legal as of Friday, the day before the event. Figured leading up to that event, we will go ahead and do a couple deck profiles. We're going to do 4 of them actually. I still have to build the Chun-Li, but I got 3 lined up. 3, I guess. Go like this, 3 lined up for you. I got Ryu, I got Luke, and I got Jamie. Hopefully I got Chun-Li. I'll get Chun-Li done here in the next few minutes, and then I will, get that done. But yeah, we're gonna start with Ryu, the main man himself. He's off. We're gonna main Simple Void. We're gonna try to splice in as many cool cards we can off his other 2 symbols via attuned, and yeah, we're just gonna try to do it with punches, man. We're gonna just punch people to death. We're gonna go ahead and get into the list here. We are going to start with the attacks. After we talk about Ryu, Ryu's a 632. He gets his non-tech, non-weapon attacks get +2 damage. You know how hard it is to find non-weapon attacks in this current meta? Thanks to AOT and Critical Role, there are so many weapon attacks on his symbols. It is just crazy. You have to basically go back to set 5 of MHA to find really, really meaningful attacks. There are a few in Attack on Titan and stuff, but yeah, so you get 2 damage on your non-tech, weapon. So that is tenacious because after your attack is completely blocked, you get to commit Ryu and draw 3 cards and then put a card from your hand on top of your deck. So you get to basically draw 2 and then stack your check. So it's really good leading into certain cards in our deck, so we can know what we're checking, and yeah, so we don't mess up. So first attack is Hardened Knuckle Punch out of AOT 3, 4 difficulty 3 check, 1 mid block, 4 high 4, Fury Punch Titan. Blitz if your rival has cycled this game. This attack gets 3/3. I highly doubt that Blitz is ever going to go off. The real love of this card is the response. After this attack deals damage, your rival commits 2 foundations. So they have to answer this, or it's a free stun 2. And if they don't, it's 6 damage. So that's usually like a third or a fifth of someone's health, which is a nice hit. Also, the free stun 2 after it deals damage, and it's not technically stunned, so it can't be canceled by certain things that say stun. Yeah, this is really sick. Also, of course, we're playing a Tech Titans Haymaker, 5 difficulty 3 check, 2 high block, 4 mid for 5, shift stun 2, punch Titan. Blitz, this attack cannot be cannot be blocked by cards that print difficulty 2 or less. It does flip into Aaron's Determination and Unique Foundation, where you mill 1 and get a damage. If you have 10 or less, you get 2. This is a premier lead-in attack in this character. If they do block it, if they fully block it, you get to basically draw 2 and stack your next check, which would be really good into Rejuvenating Smash, into 100% repeated, into Plummeting Punch, just as a nice follow-up. And then you can get damage to boot later on, so we're doing 3 damage on every move instead of 2. This is a really good card. It helps build while you attack. We love all these numbers on this card. Double Fist of the Mortal Flame. This could be a Besiege slot, but I wanted to go with a full punch suite to take advantage of repeated. This is a 4 difficulty 3 check, 3 high block, 3 high for 4. First enhance, lose 2, get a momentum. And then it loses Echo. So we can get momentum for Rejuvenating Smash, for for repeated, and that is it. Everything else, poof, or draw for Hacker, which is really nice. So speaking of which, Rejuvenating Smash, 5 difficulty 3 check, 1 mid block, 4 mid for 6, EX3 Fury Punch. After you play this card, it is the second card you played this turn. We draw 2, gain 2, enhance, discard a card during this enhance step. Add the top card of our deck to our momentum. Now, we don't have a whole lot of discard outlets. Currently, right now, we are just running Botan's Coaching, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Everything else is pretty much like defensive. Yeah. So, we are just playing Botan's Coaching to get that. So we're probably never really going to hit that. Hence the reason why we're running Double Fist of the Mortal Flame. But also, a 4 mid for 8 is pretty sick. Moving on to Rewind Throttle. We got 4 difficulty, 3 check, 3 high block, 5 high for 3. Discard a card, commit a rival foundation. If you've discarded a card during this attack, draw a card. Also, it is a 5 high for 5 in our character, which is pretty sick, and we love to target commit things. Next up, 100% repeated. 5 difficulty, 3 check, 2 low block, 4 high for 6. EX3 punch, EX3 punch, powerful 3 ranged. If this attack's damage is 10 or more, checks can't be modified for the rest of the turn. We also get to ready 1 foundation that has not been ready this combat phase for each punch in our card pool. That basically states that this is a 4 diff in the long run, which is really good. Next up is two copies of Plummeting Punch for a deadlock threat, 4 difficulty, 3 check, 1 low block, 3 high for 4. Fury Punch, flip 1 foundation, this attack gets 2 speed, changes attack zone to low, so it becomes a 5 low for 6, pretty good on a 4 diff. Also deadlock enhance, we get to flip 1, commit 1, and then destroy 1. So let's go into the actions. Moving on to the actions, we got Tattered Costume, 2/5, 2 mid block. Unique, sacrifice after your rival plays an ability on an action card or a keyword ability on an attack card. We get to cancel that ability and draw a card. So this protects us from Filled with Doubt, Breaker, Stun, Powerful, EX. Like we're able to just say no, draw a card. Also for a little bit of defense in the action slot, we got 2 Barrier Shield. 2/5, 2 high block. Doesn't count towards progressive, obviously. Enhance, remove, reduces attack speed to 0. The next card we play gains Breaker 2. Also, it states that our rival cannot add cards to their hand during this attack due to their non-character effects. This gives us a little protection that if our rival has basically got rid of their entire hand and then they are trying to draw cards, we're able to just say no for during this attack. Moving on to the foundations, we got 4 copies of Botan's Coaching. Enhance 0/5, 3 mid, enhance flip. Both players discard a card, draw a card. Then we got Keeping Area Safe for 0 difficulty, 5 check, 2 mid block. Once per turn, if it's committed due to a rival factory, ready it. These are the only 0 diffs we have in the deck, outside of maybe saving Bakugo, but I don't really see. Maybe that's a good replacement for Botan's Coaching if you don't own any. I would probably do that. Outside of that, it's kind of tough to say. We got 1 copy of Not Now, I'm Gaming. 1/4, 3 low. Response commit, check a 7 flip. After an attack is played, add it to its owner's hand. I kind of treat this as like a mini Genkai's Guidance. It doesn't blow up 3 foundations. You may have to commit 3 if you check a 4, or if you check a 3, you have to commit 4, which is kind of better in the long run, so you can crack back if you need to. I like a 1x on it. I think it's a neat card. It probably won't make the cut in most decks, but it does say after an attack is played, so you could just say if you're not able to block a lot of moves and they're throwing their last like kill shot, you can just make them add it to their hand if they commit out, and you can make them pay for it. We got 3 copies of Treasure Hunting, 1/5, 3 high, form flip, draw. If discard a card unless our rival has 15 or more cards in the discard pile. This card says draw. Form, draw a card after like the second turn of the game, most likely. 3, capture the target. We are a string deck. We want to be able to play as many punches in a turn as possible. 1/5, 3 low. Once per turn, Tenacious. If we have 3 or more attacks in our card pool, we get to ready this thing. It's pretty good for stringing out. We got Creeped Out. At a 3x, 1/5, 3 mid. Enhance commit. Your check to block this attack gets +2. Flip, after a breaker rating ability is played, it gets -1 to its rating. That card's pretty neat. It does serve a couple different purposes in the deck. We have a nice like block trick with that, because it's hard to modify block checks. It's easier to modify speed than it is to modify checks to block. And then also, if we don't want breaker, because being breakered in this deck feels bad. That's why we play some like Pass Through Walls, we play Tattered Costume, and then we play this, because we want to be able to not get breakered so we could string out. 2 copies of Practical Studies. We put damage on moves. We don't put speed on anything. So this will actually give us a little bit of speed on our first move. And then if they completely block it, we get to Ryu, draw 2 cards, stack 1, and then we get more speed on our next guy because they haven't lost health this turn. 1/5, 3 high block. And that's a really good deadlock enhance. As seal, commit, seal 1 rival asset or foundation. This attack gets 3 speed, so it's a pretty nice deadlock effect. And then my fifth solve my problems, 1/5, 3 mid. Response flipped after an attack is played, change its speed to 4. On Void, outside of like Rodon and Barrier Shield, there really, like there's a lot of speed resets that I'm playing in the deck. Sure, we're playing Barrier Shield, we're playing some Rifle Arm, we're playing. That's pretty much it for Speed 8, right? This gives us a nice speed reset. Like if they're throwing a super fast move, or let's say it's Deku 6 and they formed a bunch, we can flip this, set it to 4, and try to deal with it. Speaking of speed resets and damage resets, we got a copy of Moment of Normalcy. I usually play this at a 2x, just because I don't like 1x foundations that much, because sometimes if you just check them, you just lose them for the rest of the game. But like we are playing a few uniques, and it does feel bad to draw extras of this in our opening hand, so it's a 2/5, 3 high. Enhanced commit, return this attack speed, and return this attack to its printed speed or damage. And then one of my favorite cards in the game, Rifle Arm, 2/5, 3 low block. Enhanced commit, this attack gets +2 speed or -2 speed. If it's the only attack in our owner's card pool, it gets 3 speed or -3 speed instead. +3 speed or -3 speed. This is really good at the start of a turn, especially if we have like a repeated in hand, where we play the repeated, commit this to get 3 speed, and then ready it. Same thing with Double Fists of the Mortal Flame. If we're able to echo it, we can give it 3 speed and then echo it. And then if we can ready this with a second card repeated, the echo will flip. So it's still the only attack in our card pool, so we can give it another 3 speed. So there's some pretty cool plays. Disarming Glance, a 2/5, 3 low block. Flip after an attack is played. Players cannot play abilities that add cards to their hand until after it resolves. Sure, this is kind of like a Nambo with Ryu, but I believe it says your attack, right? After an attack. So normally you're not going to be able to you're not going to do this on when you're going to want to use his response. But usually you want to use this for defensive abilities. So like when your rival plays stuff, so they can not draw. Because it does say it does touch characters, so it's pretty good. Macho Concealment at a 1x, 2/5, 3 low. I can't read. 3 mid block. Ally unique. Response commit after attack. After a rival plays an ability on a foundation card, cancel it. The rest of it doesn't matter. We love enhanced canceling. 3 copies of Elasticity, 2/5, 3 high block. Response flip. After an attack is blocked, the next attack this turn gets +3 or -3. Gives a little damage bump, a little damage DR. Also, response flip. After your rival plays a stun ability, cancel it, and then add the top card of your deck to your momentum. So if like you're getting reversed by a Paul Phoenix who tries to stun to you, you just cancel, say, no man, I'm going to get my momentum. And we're going to spend that momentum on Hacker Extraordinaire. 2/4, 4 high block. And response commit, if you take 5 or more damage at the top card of your deck to your momentum, which is very good. And then once per turn, Tenacious, discard 1 momentum, draw a card, you may flip a rival asset. So this takes care of capes, airships, costumes, any of the vestiges, just stuff like that. Pass through walls for some more asset hate and breaker hate. 2/6, 3 high block. Response flip. After your rival plays a breaker ability, cancel it. Then response flip after your rival plays an ability on an asset, cancel it. So we're able to protect our stuff by canceling assets and getting rid of breakers. It's really good. 1 copy of Web of Blades, 2/5, 2 high block. Unique weapon. Response before your attack's block step. If its speed is less than printed, we get +2 speed. Response before your attack's block step. If its damage is less than printed, it gets 2 damage. I really like this card. Just more so its protection against I don't mean DR decks or Rodon who nuke speed. Sometimes it doesn't matter because he's just going to -4 speed it, but it gives you some back, so it doesn't make it completely free in him. And then 2 copies of Nonagon, 3 difficulty, 5 check, 1 mid block unique. Response sacrifice after an attack is played, seal it. We don't want to play a bunch of actions in the main board, so we got to play some protection, some asset, some action, some way to seal an attack, and this is the best way to do it. Sure, filled with doubts on the board, as you see here, but we're playing 2 Barrier Shield, and I don't want to clog the deck up with a bunch of non-attack, non-foundation cards. We're playing 2 copies of Unyielding, so if we're playing against like a wall deck or a deck that really likes to play the long game or have like a big board, this can serve that purpose to cut it down. Red counter in here is a pretty underplayed card, most likely because it's not bad, but it's kind of just meh. But I like it a lot, especially in this deck because we are playing a bunch of punches. 5 diff, 3 check, 2 mid block, 5 high for 5, Fury Punch. Enhance, if this attack is not completely blocked, it does not clear from the card pool during the end phase. So two things happen here. So if it's not completely blocked, it doesn't clear, so you can use the card pool response to remove it, and then after your rival plays an attack, its damage can't be modified, which is sick. Also, if it is completely blocked, you get to draw 2 cards and sculpt the top card of your deck. So that's kind of cool. It's a kind of a double-edged sword with this character. 2 copies of Filled with Doubt, because it's, filled with doubt. We got 2 Teleportation Stone, 3, 5, 2 mid. Response, after you block an attack, your rival must play a non-attack card as their next form or pass. So it does say we still have to block, but it gives us some help on giant string decks like Pony, Mikasa, Ymir, the Mirror, stuff like that. And then 2 Genkai's Guidance, because, it's Genkai's Guidance, and we love Genkai's Guidance in this house. So yeah, guys, that's the Ryu off a Void deck for the Street Fighter 6 Challenger decks. This guy's pretty open-ended. He can play fire and, go like Besieged and play like stuff that's hard to block. I just went with punches because I like the punch package, and I think he's a pretty good candidate for that just because he gets to draw 3 cards, sculpt the top card. So his rejuvenatings and his repeateds are impactful, right? It's another reason why I didn't go with Besiege because it's not a punch. For some reason, I wish it was because Aaron is coming in with a giant punch, so I wish it had punch on it, but there we are. So that's it, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe so you don't miss a video. Also, if you're at the Louisville Regional, come say hi. Please introduce yourself because I may not remember you. It's been a while since I've been out like at the tournament scene. Like Worlds was the last time I went out. So we'll see you on Friday in Louisville. Peace.